It's really quite interesting when you think about the media hype, and yes, I will use the word hype, about the dairy downturn, and everything's being blamed on the dairy downturn, and the dairy farmers are reportedly saying, hey, listen, suppliers, times are pretty tough for us, but so why don't you reduce your prices? It's not actually their problem. But the other interesting point is, it's not really just the dairy people who are suffering. When you look at the people who dairy support, the people who have had in the ground now for quite some time, feed for dairy cows. Now the dairy farmers are saying they can't afford it, which is interesting. Other dairy farmers are saying, yes, we will bring our cattle to see you, and yes, you can graze them, but no more supplements, because we really don't think that we can afford to pay extra for silage or for haylage or whatever you are going to feed them on top of that. Now, of course, what that's going to mean is that A, the person who is doing the dairy support is out of pocket, and B, the dairy cows aren't going to look as good at the end of the winter as they should do. Not a good look, really. And then, of course, you've got the people who are supplying grain. Now, the grain prices are probably about the same level as a rolled down sock when it comes to comparisons with previous years. It's certainly not right up there. So they are also going to be caught by this dairy downturn. There's also people like sheep and beef farmers. Now, they've basically looked down the barrel of a 2-year drought. And there's a lot of people who have paid $50, $60, perhaps even $100,000 on supplementary feed or having their stock grazed elsewhere. Pretty expensive sort of stuff, really. And then, seriously, when you look at the dairy prices, they were on a huge high, and weren't all the locals who were experts, I mean the people who are advisors locally, saying it's not going to stay at 8 for that long. Now, I'm not sympathising for the other farmers and picking on the dairy farmers, but really I think the national media should actually also look at the big picture and say, yep, the dairy farmers are in trouble, so that means the dairy support are in trouble, that means the small towns are in trouble, that means that the contractors are in trouble, that means that the people who are growing grain are in trouble, and then of course you mix in the sheep and beef guys. Really at the moment, apart from beef perhaps, and I'm a wee bit concerned about the term beef, because I can tell you that there's a lot of stuff that's on some supermarket shelves isn't prime, it's actually dairy beef. But anyway, that's another whole story, and how can you prove it one way or another? But please just think about farming for a while, and let's all start singing in the shower and see if we can make it rain.